everyone, and welcome to another Deep3 podcast. Today's guest, Jerai Grant, DeMatha alum, Clemson alum. We'll get into all that. But Jerai's fresh off the plane. He just played Israel. He's actually one of the few guys that went back. I think Israel and Germany were the leagues that continue their season. So Jerai, I'm just hopping straight to that. How was it?
Man, the Israeli league, it was cool, man. It was a different experience, than normal. Obviously, they had us quarantined. Basically the whole time we were there, we were in lockdown. We weren't allowed to, go out to the malls or restaurants, beaches, nothing. They had us literally shut down. It was, if it wasn't at the apartment, then it was in the gym. You know what I mean? So it was a different experience for sure.
Just different type of bubble, huh? It's not,
different.
Not the
hey, look, it wasn't that league bubble, but they weren't letting us go out and fish and do whatever, gamble, whatever. We was straight in the gym or at the crib. That's it.
That's crazy. And how was that as far as like practice and stuff?
It was cool. It was cool, honestly, because we there for basketball, which was cool. It's just it's good that it wasn't for a full season, because you know how it is when you lose a game or something, or you just have a bad experience on the court, and you just kind of just want to get your mind off of the game, your mind off of basketball a little bit. So you want to, whether you want to just walk around or hit the beach or go outside, you want that. But when it's in quarantine, you can't do that. You just got to sit in your house and stare at the wall until your next game, which would it presents a lot of problems. But
drives you crazy. If you have a crazy coach, it's over. It's a wrap.
Oh man. If you have a crazy coach, it just makes it that much longer. The season that much longer.
Oh, for sure. How many weeks were you out there
for? I guess I got there. I got there into May. June. Damn near two and some change. 2 months and some change. So
not bad. But it's quarantine. Yeah. Some change. That's tough.
Man, straight quarantine.
Go do for groceries and stuff
though. We had somebody pick them up for us. so we had to pay the guy. Yeah, like kind of like Uber Eats, but it was somebody on the team who did it. But actually, what he did, he just basically ordered Uber Eats for us. So we would pay him, and then he would pay the guy to bring him to our apartment.
Oh man, that's tough. I gotta go to a grocery store, and like if I go, it's like I gotta see everything. I can't shop.
You know what I mean? We was thinking that same thing. Like they was bringing back spoiled fruits, and nah, it wasn't that bad. It was cool, but just that lack of freedom, like we just, guys want to go outside and breathe fresh air, and it was something that we weren't allowed to do. So I mean personally, like I'm kind of I'm a homebody anyway, so I don't go outside too much anyway, but you still want to have that option,
Yeah. Every now and then, like I said, at least after a game, it's like, let me go out, man. Like I need to clear
right.
my
Yeah.
Like
yeah, you want to clear your mind, you want to, whatever, but
for sure. All right, man. So now we're gonna go back to when we first played each other. For those that don't know, Jerai went to DeMatha, I went to St. John's. Different kind of rivalry, at least back then. It was just probably okay. O'Connell was good, I think, my sophomore year, right, where Marcus was there,
Guinea-eared. Yeah, he was. Rockwell Moody was there.
Yep. So they got a good team, but like most of those 3 years, I feel like it was just us and.
It was just DeMatha and St. John's, baby.
One of those two things. Zaga was not there yet.
Nope.
So it was just tough because we tried to play guys so many ways. I mean, I remember one game we played without Chris at DeMatha. And I think the score was like 12-10 at halftime because we were running the flex through. Coach was like, we're not shooting unless you're open. You're not shooting the ball. I'm like,
Uh,
I love basketball. Like, you guys are so talented, man. Like, what's the secret?
yeah, man. Look, we was deep. Like we had so many players. Even our bench, we had like quality talent. So I mean, we had our offense went through Austin Freeman, for the most part, but we had weapons, we had shooters, and I think Coach Coach Mike Jones really made us put in the work. I think practices were tough, man. They were, and y'all probably had the same type of hard nosed practices. Like we would have practices, and like most of it would just be, honestly, most of it was just drills, like just drills, like just to hammer like the technique and like hammer the technicals in, do it this way, do it this way, do it this way. So then, when you're young, that's the best time to work on your techniques, on the technicals. So like he would hammer that into us. That way during the game, it was just like second nature. It was nothing. You know what I mean? And like that, I think it's funny because it carries on even till like today. I kind of play that same way. I focus on like getting like the small parts down so that the rest of my game follows. You know what I mean?
Gotcha. I mean, you certainly didn't have like your regular high school coach either. I mean, if we look
Right.
at Mike Jones, he's coached the USA teams, the junior programs, and the World Cups. Or I think under
Hmm.
18, he was there. He's involved with the USA basketball. So he didn't
Right.
expect to have your regular
Yeah.
high school basketball coach, and we didn't either. I think like for me, there was, and I think for you it's probably the same since you talked about that. But for me, it was like our practices were not much different than college practice. Like those for me,
Right.
I hear guys like kids like, oh my god, it's like such a huge difference. Like strength and conditioning wise, yeah. But like as far as just basketball practice, it was just
Right.
once I became a freshman, it was just different guys on the floor. That yeah, of course they were stronger, stuff like that. But as far as like effort, intensity, drills, like this is stuff that I was doing in high school too. So
Right.
I thought, when I went to St. John's, like, oh man, it's different. It's
Right.
and you
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
your JV team, you're probably scrimmaging with David. JV team was like D1 players in the JV team. I remember my sophomore year. Uh,
Yeah.
I think you were down the JV team in sophomore year, right? I know
Sophomore year.
I
Yeah. So
was.
So yeah. I was like, so freshman year I was with the JV team. Sophomore year they moved me to varsity, but I was like I wasn't really playing much. Like I was playing, but not a whole lot. So like it was like I was in between. You know what I mean? So but it was definitely, it was an experience, man. It's like you said, you go from playing guys, your age and your height, to playing like grown men. You know what I mean? It's the
I had grown men in high school too.
yeah, you know what I mean? Like dude, you had some grown men in high school, man. Like it
My
was
sophomore year, your seniors are man. Oh my god, it was just
yo, it was a whole
Nigel
nother
at the
world,
point. It
bro.
was like Nigel, okay, Austin, but
Yeah,
who was Mamadi was there 2 out of 3. Like
yeah,
Jeff,
yeah, yep,
Jeff
yeah.
Allen, Desmond. I was
Jeff Allen was.
like yo, like 6'9" above. Like what is this? Like
Dez was like 300 pounds, 300 plus, 6'9", man, like a moving, like a freight train, man. It's like just having to try to guard him in practice, with my skinny ass, it was rough. It was rough, man.
two
It
different
was
styles of
rough.
play.
Completely different, man. Completely different. But it teaches you. It teaches you like that toughness too, because you don't want to go down without a fight. You want to if you do go down, you want to go down swinging. You know what I mean? So
For sure.
yeah, it's life lessons. That's all.
Yeah. So how was that? Of course, you come from a basketball family. For those again that don't know, your dad was in the NBA. Your
Yeah,
uncle was in the NBA for many
yeah.
years, right? And then now you have two brothers that are in the NBA.
Mm.
Um, how was it growing in a basketball family? growing up the NBA world, around the NBA world, and all that stuff?
Man, I was and still am truly blessed, man, to have that experience. Um, it's something that when you're younger you kind of take for granted. You take for granted like going to the basketball games, to NBA games, and seeing all these, getting to sit courtside and see the legends in action, get to talk to them, back to the locker room and stuff, and it's you don't take it for what it is when you're younger, but then when you grow up and you kind of understand like this was my life, and I have those experiences, and without my pops and my uncle, we would never have those. So you learn to be grateful. You learn to be grateful, and it was definitely, it was a lot of ball talk in here, man. Between these walls, it was a lot of
Was,
basketball.
was there a lot of like trash talk in the house too?
Man,
Well,
oh
not
my
between you and your
goodness,
brothers. I
man.
know between you and your brothers for sure. But just
Nah, yeah, yeah.
uncle.
Like with pops, man. He would talk so much trash, man. Like just because he coached me for a while, and with different teams, and whether it was AU, he coached JV at DeMatha for a little bit too. Um, like he was just around, so he got to really talk. He got to talk more trash than me than normal. You know what I mean? Because he was. It wasn't just at the crib. It was also like on the court. It was other venues. So it was cool. And I actually, because when he talked trash to me, I would talk trash to my brothers. So like I would get that, and I would just be like, you know what, and I would redirect it to them. And like and like they probably hated me, man. They hated me so much, but
Like,
like
it looked like work
it was
though. It
like,
worked. You did your part though.
oh yeah, yeah. I could take just a smidge of credit for that. But nah, they man, I'm so damn proud of them, man. And like it's like the bonds that we have to show for it. We give all credit to our mom, because she instilled that in us, to that camaraderie, that brotherhood, and we're even tighter today than we were as kids, because like I said, those life lessons, you pick them up and you translate them to when you're an adult, you know.
Oh, sure. I might have to call your pops and your mom, man, because I got three boys. So it's like, oh my goodness. It's
Oh
like,
yeah, 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 yeah. I was about to say,
what's
man.
the age difference? For mine are like 2 years apart. So it's like, oh my god. It's
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Yours. I think yours closer than me and my brothers are all together. But I think my Jaren, Jeremy, and Jalen, all of them are about the same age difference between you and your kids. I believe. I believe so.
yeah.
So that's gonna
You're
be. I
you were
mean,
bullying them. You're like bigger, older,
I,
taller,
oh, I was
everything.
bullying the hell out of them, but it was all love though. Like like they it was intense, but it was like it was a type of bullying where you can tell
For sure.
whether that the love that comes from a good
You
place.
care for them, but you still just want to like kick the butts. Like,
Yeah, for sure, for sure. I wanted to
okay,
take
nothing
out
you
my
tell
my
me.
frus- yeah, I want to take out my frustration on them. So yeah, for sure.
Oh, that's cool,
Yeah.
man. And then also your pops here went to Clemson. And then how
Yep.
was Tennessee for you? I know we talked about it when we were in Greece a little bit.
Yeah.
That was not exactly, I guess, your dream destination, right? So how did you how did you end up choosing Clemson, or why did you choose Clemson?
So for me, we had the college prospects. You could detect the 5 official visits and all that, and I had my visits lined up. We did the due diligence. Me and my peoples. We did all the research or whatever, and I took a unofficial visit to Marquette, and you know, I got to go talk to Tom Crean. I got to go and we kicked it. It was unofficial, so nobody was. There were people on campus, but it was, I can remember it was snowing and everything, and it was just a great experience. I talked to Crean and uh and basically uh I basically told him, you guys are, you're it. You're the front runners. I can't wait to come here, blah blah, all that stuff. And then it was all good. And then when my first official visit came around, I had went to Clemson. So I had Clemson on the list, and I went, and Oliver Purnell was the coach there at first. And I remember going there during the summer, taking that first visit, and everything was awesome. I fell in love with it, and it was one of those recruitments where you kind of just you get the hard eyes, immediately, and you fall in love at first sight instead of waiting to see, what else is out there. You kind of just like, oh yeah, that's it. This is the school. And so he took me out on his boat. He does the whole 9 yards. He down plays some music, all this. I'm like, oh, okay, okay, OP. I appreciate this, man. I really like this. I think I want to come here. He's like, you think you want to come here? You might as well just sign now, because if you go and waste, you go to Marquette, waste their time, they're gonna be upset. They're gonna blah blah. I was like, you know what? You might be right. so 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 I ended up going back to the crib
it was legacy
so
though, so it's just right.
yeah, it was also, yeah, it's a little legacy there also. I mean, my pops and my uncle went there, it felt like a good opportunity. Felt like, something that I could do, and maybe build my own legacy. And I mean, honestly, I just fell in love with it. So I went, and I told everybody I was signing there. I had to call all the other coaches up, tell them nope, I'm not signing with y'all.
Have
It
that
was that
conversation.
was
You at least can come
man, that's
visit.
nah, that shit was tough, man. I'll tell you this. I'll tell you this. The only coach that was cool with it, that was like, okay, it's cool, was Coach Bray, Mike Bray, at Notre Dame, because I was supposed to go visit them as well. So I called him. He was like, you know what, Jerai, you know what? It's cool, man. I understand. Um, but if you ever have any second thoughts, hit me up. Whatever. I was like, man, after that, I was like, man, you a cool dude. You a legit dude. And then Jaron ended up going there to Notre Dame, actually, and under Mike Bray. You know, so it was
So
that was that was a good benefit.
him being authentic and just real then paid off. You see.
Yeah, yeah. When I think about it, yeah, it really did. It really did. I didn't really have a big influence in Jaron's recruitment process going to Notre Dame, but it kind of, just through osmosis, it kind of fit together. Everything worked out that way.
God bless you. There you go.
Nah, man, don't. Come on, man. It's the pollen out here, man. I'm allergic to the pollen, man.
Man.
No, it's the
Oh, that's
pollen,
pretty
man.
cool, man. Actually, I mean, you didn't have to impact like that way, but I feel like if you just told your story, I'm sure your brother heard that, and it's someone, even like 1% probably like, all right, that's a cool dude, that's a cool coach right there.
Yeah,
You have to be like directly, like, yeah, that's the guy for you. It's just, hearing that type of stuff, usually because when there's some negative news or some bad
right,
news, people can react very different, and
right.
that can, just trigger some other stuff. So that's
That,
really cool right there.
that's
And
true.
you turned pro, man. You played about everywhere. We were supposed to be teammates 2 years ago. I'm still salty about
Man,
that. I'm
we
still
were
salty about
supposed to
that.
play on the
But
same team, man. We were supposed to,
you
man.
you started in Australia, man. How's that? How's the
Oh
league?
man.
How's the life? 'Cause
Uh,
there's good things about
well,
it. So
though now the league has changed a good amount since when I was there. They First of all, they got more money now. Um, a lot more guys are going out there. For different reasons. now. Yeah, my first year was Sydney, Australia, with the Sydney Kings. And man, I'll tell you what, man, um, for a kid coming out of college and their first experience overseas is Sydney, Australia, that ruins the rest of the overseas experience. Because there's nowhere, you will never find a place anywhere in the world the same as Sydney, Australia, man. And like, as far as like, going and you go out there to get paid to play basketball, to do what you love. There's nowhere in the world that could.
Well, besides being Sydney, like how nice it is, but also spoke English, and that to me,
Yeah,
that's a huge adjustment for some guys. Where it's like
yeah,
grocery stores, I'm like, oh, yeah, like I was in in Poland when I played in Poland my first year. It was Gorgilla. It's like a small town, and not many people spoke English. Like literally, not many people spoke English. So like
right,
you go, you want to ask for something, you need some. It's tough. You got to call somebody, call a team manager, call some. So especially for a rookie, it can be, it makes the transition a lot easier. But they
right,
we
right.
played for like 4 years, so they,
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
say, hey,
I,
I need some winter now.
man, man, it's straight summer over. Like, it over there is like when it's winter. Over here, it's summer over there. So like the whole season is warm. Like after games. You know how in Europe, uh, your recovery would be, you have to go to the gym. Maybe you have to like run around the gym, around the court, do warm up, whatever stretches. Like the recovery there is, you go to the beach. The whole team, coach takes the team out to the beach. You swim in the waves, you chill, you walk the boardwalk, and that's it. Have a cup of coffee, a
That sounds
cuppa they
terrible.
call
Who would
it, a
do that?
cuppa.
It sounds terrible.
Man,
I,
it was
yeah,
horrible. The
it's,
worst experience of my life.
then why'd you stay there?
Yeah, exactly, man. No, I
Can I
actually
sign a 10-year deal right now? 10 years, we're good.
my my
Baseball
uh my
contract.
my agent had told me, he was like, you know what, I know you love it there, but it's probably be better to expand your brand, go to Europe, just go around Europe, and blah blah blah, whatever. And me being the young guy I am, not really knowing what Europe was like, I accepted that, and I went overseas, and it's, and to be honest with you, I've always wanted to go back, and play there, just because it's a different, it's not just the living, but it's the basketball mindset over there too. They don't it's not so much stress on your body where they try to kill you, like, just to prove a point. You know what I mean? Like, it's like they understand that you people too, that you're a person too. So they'll adjust to your specific needs, and I think that in turn lightens the load on your shoulders, um, in different ways. It's just a different experience, really. And if I had to tell anybody, I would tell them, like, go play in Australia, just experience that. You know what I mean?
Gotcha. Yeah, I mean, I know guys that went there. I was in France my second year. Ty Wesley and I, played in the college All Star game together, so we kind of know each other. And then he signed here.
Right.
It's like about 30, 40 minutes.
Yeah.
When I was in France, like, and after that, he went to, I think, New Zealand, and he's been staying there for like the last 8 years. I think he's been there, and it's the same thing.
Man.
I think it's just like I was talking to him that year in France.
Right.
You kind of don't expect it, but once he got there, he just loved it. You can see he loved it, and he just it worked out for him.
Yeah.
For me, I don't know if I'm athletic enough. So
No, no, man. There's guys who, like, that's the thing though. There's all different types of players, like, over there. So it's really it really depends on, I think, more so on the type of agent, like, who can get you there. Because once you get there, I think you're good. But like, it's just the connections on who to get you in there. You know what I mean? So like, my agent got me there because we had because he knew somebody within the organization, and it like Houston when I first got out of college, Houston wanted me to go there to sharpen my skills or whatever, and then go to training camp for the Rockets, and after that I had realized, man, that like Australia was amazing, like it was amazing, but my agent also said to go to Europe, and that was that was I think I think that could have been we could have talked that over a little more, but it was really I think it's really about a lot of it is who to open that door for you. You know what I mean?
Absolutely, I think so too. I think it's all about networks.
Networks, yep.
So it's also about like the relationship that agent can build with a team, as far as like just trusting.
Yeah, yeah,
Because I've worked a few agents throughout my career, and then one thing I notice is there's guys that will just, oh yeah, you got to go there, and it might not be the right fit for you, so you might fail, or it's like, and then when you fail, it affects also the agent, because the agent placed you there, so that coach is gonna be like, well, he sent me this guy who didn't really fit my system, or whatever.
right,
But like it's just one of those things where it just and you as a player, you lose time, you lose money, and all this stuff. So it just it's certainly
right,
like something you said, it's like connection network, and then trust. Sometimes agents are like, nah, my guy's better, and like, and honestly, it might not be. And I was like, actually,
right.
the other guy's actually better, so you might as well just say how it is. And
Yeah, yeah.
so drama is going to come with I want to cut him, I want to do this. You know how it is. It's a business for sure.
It's
But
definitely a business.
I was going to ask you what your favorite place was, but then that kind of cleared it out.
Yeah, that probably clears it up right there. I mean, I played in some amazing places, man, and like you said, I'm a globe trotter, man. I've played in man, like so many different countries, so many different continents, and yeah, if I had to really think about it, I mean, yeah, that Australia it's got to be number one, man. I mean, everywhere you go,
You stayed
everywhere I
in
go,
Neptune like what, 3-4 years though?
where in Neptunus?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was in Neptune. So I guess in all, I was there three years total. I played 2 years consecutively there, and then
I was supposed to play.
and
I was supposed to play a chick in that second year. Now I have
yep, I know, man.
let
I
people
know.
know,
That's like,
right? So this was my second year in Poland. It was about December.
yeah,
Super late payments. I think like 2-3 payments behind. And I was coming out
yeah,
with an
yeah.
injury. It was not even an injury. It was like my back kind of got locked up or whatever it was. So I had to sit out like 2 weeks, and I was coming off it. I talked to
Yeah,
my coach. I was like, Coach, I want to leave.
yeah,
Going. I was like, well, I'll talk to Neptunus. They offered me this deal.
yeah.
It was like it was for the rest of the season. It was for the next one too.
Right.
I loved your coach too. I knew I fit well in that system. And I was talking.
I remember. I
Yeah,
remember because he came to me and he asked me about you. And I was like, yeah, like let's get him. Like if we had got you, like we would have made it to the finals. I think we would have at least gave Zalgiris a run for their money. You know what I mean? Like that would have
that's really
been
good team that year. See, like you're in Euro Cup, you're getting ready for second stage. Uh,
right.
and I was ready. Like I was ready to pack my car. It was like this is
Yeah,
I had my car over there for Romania. So I was like, I told Chris, I was like, about a 20-hour drive. Like I talked to my coach, which I had a great relationship with, like Sasha Filipovsky and Stelmet. And I was like,
right.
I can't stay here. I got 2 kids. And
Yeah,
for some reason, I ended up not working out. I think it
man.
made me just enough to keep me, so I couldn't leave. I think that's what it was. Because
Oh
it
man.
was around Christmas time, December, and you guys are trying to make the move before that. Like I had to wait like 7 more days if like if they didn't pay me or something.
Right.
Because they caught off from behind with the payments, and then I still wanted to go, but then they ended up. It was just a
That
situation, but yeah, that was one time, and then the second time, I can't believe I couldn't play together a second time. For a family
oh my
reunion,
goodness,
man, for a
man.
family reunion, like come
Yeah,
on,
for like two like
2
I
days.
would have been like 2 days late, and the coach was like, "Nah, man, nah." I was like, "Okay, all right, that's
Coach,
cool."
a good friend of mine, so I was pissed at him for that.
Yeah, that was horrible. But I mean, also like Strasburg was asking about you too. So I mean, technically, it was 3 times we could have linked up, man. And look, if you would have came to Strasburg, man, that would have changed everything. That would have changed everything, the whole season. Like man, because there was some dysfunctionality on that squad.
It always that's why I try to make changes because
Yeah.
but it's
Exactly.
but to me, one thing I've seen over the years is chemistry is actually more important than talent. Like the character of
Mhm.
the guys that you have on the team. Because I've been on some talented teams, and I'm like, like the ball might get stuck, everybody gets frustrated, nobody wants to play defense.
Right.
You might have less talented teams that are like that year that I was talking about in Stelman. I don't think we're that talented to make a run and be in the top 8 of Euro Cup and be, I think,
Right.
2-3 points away from being in the semifinals
Right.
and beating such good teams like triple our budget.
Right.
But one thing we had just the characters, that were just we knew when it was our time, we knew like we're in for something bigger than just my own stats. And it showed
Right.
like nobody averaged more than 9 points per game in the Polish
Right.
league. I think Euro Cup we had about everybody around 10, 11, and same EuroLeague. I don't think anybody really just went crazy. I think D-Boss went crazy later in the playoffs in the Polish League when we kind of gave him the reign, like, all right, 4 score and D, go to work, do your thing. But
Right.
I think you need those type of players too, like especially in the games where you're a system type of team oriented, and you need
Right.
somebody to kind of break loose and it's like, all right, like you're playing pick and roll, and we're not just gonna, coach up like if you're hard heads, you want to make the first pass, make the face pass, and then play off that.
Right. Right.
Basically, my role was like, I just open up the pass and just swing it, make the right decision from there to get open shot. It was easy to me. It was always easy to do that. But then
Right.
it gets hard in the fourth quarter, so you got to have a guy like D, and stuff like that. And
Right.
you've been on Ike last year. I think Keith was that guy for you guys. Well, he had a few guys actually that could do that, but.
Man, we was loaded, man. We was loaded. Yeah.
I was
But
that was a thing
keep
I wanted to see actually because I feel like you guys once you came in, you changed the dynamic a little bit last year.
yeah.
They needed a guy like you, and then once you came in, I thought they can give. Of course, Panathinaikos super talented,
Right.
but it felt like you guys were clicking a little bit. Like it was just working out for you.
Yeah, we didn't lose since I got there in the 3 months that I was there from January to March. We hadn't lost a Greek league game. So like I mean we had lost maybe in Champions League we lost maybe like three games in a row, 3 or 4 games in a row, but then we figured it out and like we got back to where we were supposed to be. Um but we hadn't lost a Greek game and we won the Greek Cup and we was feeling good. Uh and then all of a sudden COVID hits and everything gets thrown into question. It's just a rough situation all over Europe. That everybody questions whether they're going to get the rest of their checks and what's going to happen
We're not
to
going there.
them.
Come on, Jerry.
Look, man.
Don't get that started, man.
I'm sorry. That's the only thing I wanted to say about that. That's all I'm gonna say about that.
I know it's going to get my views up. I know it's going to get the listeners up. Like the numbers are going to skyrocket if we go over here and talk about that.
Hey, man. Oh, my bad, man. I just want to be real, man, because
Hey,
how it's
hey,
crazy out here,
you stop playing the NBA now. You want to end up on the ESPN top 10 now.
man.
Go there. Come on, man.
Hey, man. Look, man.
It's tough.
Look.
It's tough, and I get it. From the club side, I get it. As an owner, you just basically just threw money at the season, and you lost all that money. Like you're not getting anything back, because like you guys are fighting to get the Champions League, to win the Champions League, which means, of course, you get some money from FIBA, which of course you get more sponsors, you
Yeah.
get more, and I kind of just
A lot of these teams,
established.
a lot of these, a lot of these teams are getting money from like the cities too. Apparently, like because it's like a relief fund. They're getting money from like from the government and so that they can pay the players. I know that just from talking to guys and talking to my agent and everything. But
yeah, for sure. For example, Romania, I mean, the city councils are huge.
Yeah.
A few teams have like private sponsors, so basically, if you want to put on for your city, it's how you do it.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a way to market the city. It's a way to market yourself as city council. It's so situations like that. I can imagine guys being pissed. It's like the mayor or city council be like, "Well, we pumped in this money in this team, and we have nothing to show for."
Right.
And it's not necessarily that players control that, not the coach, the GM, or whatever, the league, the president of the league. It was just something that.
Right.
That's why I think the Israel league, they had to play again. Is also because financial reasons, and just. Otherwise, I don't see why. I think the German BBL. I think it had to do a lot of. If you ask me, a lot to do with the EuroLeague. It was tough for them to decide who's going to play EuroLeague next to Bayern. It's like we can't make that decision for somebody when EuroLeague's going to give them a lot of money. It's like, oh, we're going to say Alba's going to play. Well, like no, like let's try to finish up on the court. And, I mean, you saw it almost end up with like what Ludwigsburg just winning that thing. So.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a tough team, man. You ever played them?
We played them. I played them when I was in Neptunus my second year.
It reminds me of a Clemson team, honestly.
Yeah.
Full court press, the Carter style. We're gonna 94 feet.
The defense is like their staple.
Rotate guys like in and out like every 2-3 minutes. I'm like, God.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, exactly, man. Like defense was their staple. I think. Who was their coach? I think it was Peterson. John, I can't remember exactly who their coach was, but he was American, so he was like he wanted to hammer it into the guys, like defense, and then basically, how some coaches think that they are.
You talking about Ludwigsburg?
Yeah, Ludwigsburg.
Oh yeah, John Patrick.
John Patrick, that's it, John Patrick. So he American coaches, they're like, yo, we're gonna do it this way. We're gonna make it so like we're gonna do it this way no matter what. And unless they really cool with a couple of players, then they're like, okay, you can rock out.
Yeah, but the thing is about them is he finds hungry players, mostly rookies.
Mm-hmm.
Like the year when I was when we played them, they had Royce O'Neal. The next year, Royce O'Neal goes to Gran Canaria. Next year goes to the NBA. Like I mean, you did see it happening. And what's crazy is also people on their end. Like I'm sure if you ask some coaches, okay, maybe like lower leagues in Europe or something like that,
right?
How do you think they practice? And you know what they say? Oh, they do this all the time. And the crazy thing is, I know guys that play there, like, nah, they walk through. They never full practice. They walk through the press. It's all a bunch of walkthroughs, videos, and a lot of drills. But he doesn't go crazy, which is funny because, like, I think a lot of coaches be like, "How you practice the full court press? Oh, you press the whole practice." I'm like, you're gonna press the whole practice? You guys are gonna be dead on Saturday. So
exactly.
So it's what I heard from guys that played for him, that he's a great coach and like he knows, he doesn't go overboard, because honestly that's what I thought too. When I saw them play, I was like, oh, I don't want to be in their practice. Like not even pass all the way to half court. Like it's not even like you're not keeping line. You're just like, God, deny. I'm like, oh, can I catch ball?
That's true. But also they had, I mean, when you got a guy like Cliff on your team, that's like you can, everybody else can chill, and then I mean not chill, but like everybody else can like kind of chill on defense, and you got him doing all the, so it's like it also depends on the player.
People don't understand like how easy it makes it. To be honest, the first time, I played with some guys that can play defense.
Yeah.
First time in my career, I played with a guy that was just defensive minded completely, as far as like, I'm 94 feet, we're going. I'm in your net, that's it. You're not dribbling, you're not crossing over. I'm turning like zigzag drill, like like you're not.
Yeah.
There's nothing easy here. Like you're not bringing the ball up easy. Like like you're not just chilling. Like So it's crazy
and
how
it's not
much
even about getting the steals, but it's not even about getting the steals 100% of the time. But you know, you might get 1 or 2 steals through the game, but he's gonna tire the guard out for the rest of the game. You
he's
know what I
good
mean?
environment, and then also playing pick and roll, right? So like you have a guy like yourself that's
Mm-hmm.
like you and Keith, for example, in a pick and roll situation. Well, Cliff being so aggressive and so good at just fighting over by himself, that I don't, as a center or something, I don't have to help that much with me as a power forward on the weak side. Then I can worry about the shot more, so I don't need to go
Right.
deep inside, try to bump you that hard or to kind of like stagger you a little bit, kind of check the
Yep.
situation. Because Cliff's so good at it, just he's by himself in that screen, unless it's a crazy good screen,
Right.
like, and it might be a moving screen, honestly, because I've never seen these kind of get stuck in screens. Like if somebody just sitting there like waiting to screen, I've never seen it get stuck in it. So like it makes your job so much easier in defense just from that ball pressure. And it's a lost art, man. Honestly, it's a lost art. I don't see a lot of guards doing that in Europe, and I think that's what's. I'm just gonna get him paid until he just doesn't feel like getting paid. I think. It's and what's crazy is like people think that he can't score either.
Man, come on, man.
I was there. Like,
yeah,
it was like he's the type of guy that plays a role. Like, I think you are that same way. I'm the same way. If you're gonna give me the freedom to score, like, I'll go off and I can go off. I'll find my ways. I'll get in the post. I'll shoot my fadeaways and my shots and come off ball screens, pick and pops, whatever it is. And like, it's the same thing with Cliff. Is like, if you just tell him like, okay, run pick and roll, run team, it's what he's gonna do. Like, that's the crazy thing. Like, if you can tell him score, like he can go off. Like he can score.
Yeah.
Just so it's a lot of players like that in Europe. That like once you get in that box, it's like.
Yeah, I was gonna say that. I was gonna say that too. Like once Europe labels you, once they put you in a box, they try to keep you in that box no matter what. You know what I mean? And it's a problem because like it stifles talent. It really stifles talent. And I mean, there's no reason that players should be put in a box unless you're getting paid like X amount. Like if you're in EuroLeague and they tell you have to do this. But if you're getting paid X amount, then you're like, okay, I can do that for that, and
so I'm saying,
and like
J.C. Carroll is my example for that. And I'm like, like, yes, it's what he does, and he does the best, and he loves doing it, but he gets paid for it. He gets paid for it. He's not going there for like $3,000. I'm like, but you're box for that. I'm like, hey, I got a family to feed. Like, hey,
right, exactly.
So, to get that level, you gotta be out of the box at some point. And it's something I wanted to do, for example, in France when I was in Italy, my first year as a Benetton, and that was the rude awakening for me because I think I would just expect to be out of that box, and I got put in the box for the first time in my career, basically.
Right.
And I was like, man, I wasn't enjoying basketball, and I was like, I'm not. So I just took a 50% pay cut, honestly, and I went to France. And I was like, I literally waited a whole summer. Like teams would call me, and I was like, what's my role? Oh, you got to the floor. I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm like, we're not doing that. Somewhere where I'm going to have, 10, 12 shots a game. I'm going to have, opportunities to post up on, like, not even that. Like, I just don't mismatches, like, just post me up. Like, I can create off it. I can do some stuff, and I want to have fun playing basketball. Like, I'm 24 years old. And it's the same thing that next summer I went the same, up until like when I got the EuroLeague, where it's like, okay, if you want to come to EuroLeague, you got to do this. And then once I got there, it's like, sure, I got to do it. I got to do it. So at that point, I was like, those 2 years, in Estonia too, I was like, and they let me do it in the VTB, and it was cool because like you just feel different about the game. You work different. You know how it is.
Yeah, for sure.
It's harder for you too, because like you might be able to like just go crazy on defense, as a 5-man, where you hard hedge, you're involved in almost every pick and roll situation, every offense, and defensively too. So it's like you're tired as heck, and then they don't feed you the ball. Then how frustrating that is, you're like you gotta really mind yourself.
You gotta have you have to like literally you got to be crazy as hell to be a 5-man in Europe, man. Because like the
Well,
type of
you labeled yourself crazy. We got that, right?
yeah, nah, you can't, this is recorded, right? So you if ever I'll tell you this, man. If ever like a guy expects to immediately be like the man on a team, like in Europe, like a 5-man, you throw it in the ball, like the post to him every single time. There's it's very rare. It's very rare, like that I've seen that. Like I've seen it a few times, but it's rare. You know what I mean? And I know like a team in Germany that does that. A couple guys, a couple teams, here and there spotted, but for the most part, it's like it's so guard oriented, man. Like, and I mean that's the way the game is now. Like even now in the league, you got you're throwing it to they're throwing it to the guards and they're creating up top. I think that kind of translated over to the European game. So
Absolutely, but I think for example, okay, besides China, but
hmm
some of the Asian leagues, because they have less imports, they do that
hmm
more. And I've seen that,
yeah,
for example, where they got a guy like Alex Kirk, for example, where he gets a lot of touches, but he's also, or like
right,
Brian Cavell, with
right,
less touches in Europe and Oldenburg and Bologna, and he got there, he got a lot more touches, and he's
right,
super talented offensively, no doubt about
right,
it. But he got more touches because there's only like three foreigners on the team, so it's like okay, you kind of cater those guys and
right,
what their
right,
abilities are, and you play off that. So there are some serious situations because of the rules. I think not honestly. I don't think it's because the coaches are like that. I think the coaches have
right.
next now to play like up tempo. Shoot a lot of threes, not
Mm,
many post ups. It's all
right.
analytics, man. You ever had a conversation with your pops and your uncle about this? Like how it changed?
Oh
Oh
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. I've talked to my pops about it a couple times actually. Like like more recently, I'd say it's about like how the game is for him. It's like the game is softer. All the old heads want to talk about, oh, the game is soft now, and you can't check with your hands and this and that, and I mean, to a certain degree, I say he's right. But like obviously, European game is different than the league.
Oh, he,
So you know what I mean? Like so,
you know, he put that
so
tape on the Ajax team.
yeah, yeah. So
I'll show
but
my
like
highlights on the Ajax tape. I was holding hands. Yeah, like
man,
walk together. Like
you can murder somebody on the court and they would call no, they wouldn't call nothing on that, man. Like it all depends though. Also, the referees are pretty spotty, man. Like it's like I'll say this. I'll say this is the only thing I'm gonna say about Israel. Negative about Israel. Man, the referees are so inconsistent, man. They will make you want to go crazy, man. I mean, like they will make you want to like. I don't normally get texts in games, but like if I could, I would get like 5 technical fouls in one game. If I played a full season in Israel, man, it's frustrating over there because the referees, they're never on the same page either, and they don't have a referee union.
you go back.
So
You gotta go back now. Good luck with that. Good luck getting calls next year.
no, man, nah. They know what it is, man. Because I would talk to them like one on one, like even during the game on the court. I'm like, yo, what's wrong with you, man? Like, like like they know they're wrong too because they'll tell me they're like, yeah, I missed that, but yeah, man, and then do it again the next play.
Yeah. But I mean, if you talk to your pops and uncle at the same time, I'm like, your uncle played with Jordan, so not like he passed the ball too much.
Oh my gosh,
Talking
man,
about
no, no,
that.
no way, no way. But
He kind of played his, he played this era of like big man,
yeah, yeah, he
He got a
did,
little
he
taste
did.
of it.
My uncle, one thing he like because I used to go to California like in high school in middle school. Like I used to go like during the summers. I used to go to California and chill with him. Just to hang out. And one of the valuable lessons he taught me was like offensive rebounding. You know, like how to anticipate where the ball was going to bounce and this and that and you know, that's something that I took to heart because I would work out with him, but he'd also, like, you know, talk some ball with me and things like that. And and I think that that he uh as far as like playing with Jordan, when he left, he had told me when he left, he was like he had looked forward to playing like against Jordan again, probably like one of the highlights of his career. You know what I mean? Like bouncing them out in Orlando when he played with Orlando with Shaq. So I think you know I think that's a
No, but that's a valuable lesson. I think as a big man,
yeah
I think your rebounding numbers talk for
yeah
themselves, right?
yeah
If I'm
yeah.
not mistaken, were you top last year, right? Rebounding in with
All
Neptune.
right, Champions League.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
So
top rebounder. Yeah,
so I mean that, and even this year, like it just what I noticed is, like not just from our game with you guys, but just watching you, I came to the Anfield game in Athens to watch you guys and
yeah,
watch the Fielders on TV. It's what we're talking about when you don't get the ball as a five man. I think that
yeah,
you have two options, right? And you can get frustrated and kind of just stop
mhm,
playing off on the offensive at least, or you can
yeah,
kind of just, what you said, what your uncle was talking about,
mhm,
go try to get the ball. And the way you can get the
yeah,
ball, unfortunately, sometimes it's just the way, go get the offensive rebound. It was crazy.
yeah,
Though, I was gonna put it back in. Like I've seen you get like two boards in a row back to back is still not getting a shot up off it. It's just
yeah,
but
yeah,
it's how it is, and I think that's what makes you valuable at your position. And like we said, it's like it's a box thing. They push in the box,
yeah.
and it's what you get paid for. It's that's
Right,
what I learned. If you don't want to be in the box, then just tell that team no if you really want to try and risk that.
exactly.
So but again, like I said, it happened to me, and I got paid half of it, but I was cool with it because I was young. Um,
Yeah,
I was a different mindset, different stage of my life. So I think every
yeah,
player has to make that decision. But yeah, like you said, a lot of rookies don't expect it. They think it's like, oh, we're gonna rock out over there. Yeah,
yeah.
go over
It's about to
there.
be sweet.
So
Yeah,
I'm a pro now, NBA style. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. They think it's like you know you could do whatever you want. No, it's gonna be easy. Nah, man. Nope. It's it's not.
Oh,
It's
for sure.
not.
All right, Jerai, well, I appreciate it, man. I held you up a little bit longer than I promised, but I appreciate your time,
Man, I ain't got nothing to do, man. I'm
man.
out here waiting for that next call. That's all.
Oh, wait for next call. All right, well, you gotta let us know what happens.
All right, brother. Appreciate the call, though, man.
All right, Jerai, appreciate it too, man.
Yeah.